Next on CTV News tonight, the watchword is caution as we begin another July 4th holiday getaway.
As many Maryland families head out of town to celebrate July 4th, state officials have a strong message to drivers tonight. I'm Katara Jones. I'll have all the details coming up on CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Byron Scott with a CTV News update. The U.S. Supreme Court strikes down race-based college admissions. The vote split with conservative justices ruling to end affirmative action and liberals dissenting. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the majority opinion saying those policies employ race in a negative manner and involve racial stereotyping. But he added that nothing prohibits universities from considering an applicant's discussion of how race affected his or her life.
I believe our colleges are stronger when they're racially diverse. Our nation is stronger because we are tapping into the full range of talent in this nation. I also believe that while talent, creativity, and hard work are everywhere across this country, not equal opportunity. It is not everywhere across this country.
A lot of the universities themselves will seek diversity, and they'll find ways around it. They'll try to create what may seem to be race-neutral admissions policies. They'll target certain communities for recruitment, that sort of thing. They'll look at finances to see if they can get gain admission for underserved students and underrepresented communities.
In her dissent, Justice Sonia Sotomayor says the court has rolled back decades of progress in a society where race has always mattered and continues to matter. Well, reaction is pouring in response to High Court's decision ending affirmative action in higher education. The Legislative Black Caucus of Maryland condemns the decision. In a statement, the caucus says the ruling will be far-reaching and stand to impede the mobility of black students in Maryland and across the nation. The caucus says it will continue to fight for every Maryland student to have equal opportunity to higher education. Well, the Prince George's Police Department has announced its Summer Crime Initiative. The multi-pronged effort targets youth crime across the county. Chief Malik Aziz says youth crime typically spikes in July and August. The first stage of the plan will not include enforcement of the youth curfew. That may come later on. The department will target other things like car meetups, racings, and carjackings. Police divisions will also focus on smaller geographic areas.
Primary locations, an example, Division 1 in Hyattsville, University Boulevard in the Lewisdale area, Division 2 around Truman and Good Luck, Division 3, the Kentland area, Division 4, Southern Avenue and Wheeler, Division 5, Branch Avenue and Old Branch Avenue, Division 6, that's the Laurel, Bowie Road, Contee area, Fort Washington in Division 7, and Division 8 is Marlboro Pike and Brooks Drive. But there are many components to those areas that we'll be working diligently in and strategically in.
And this is the department's third summer crime initiative. Well, police have arrested 2 suspects in that deadly shooting at a Super 8 motel in Camp Springs yesterday. Kemonte Day and Christopher Jenkins have been taken into custody and charged with first-degree murder. Police say Day conspired with 2 others to rob 23-year-old Xavier Matthews of Temple Hills, who was killed in the incident. Day and Matthews were staying together at a motel when the robbery went bad and gunfire erupted. One of the suspects, 26-year-old Kayron Moore of D.C., was shot and killed during the robbery. The police say the investigation remains active and they're asking anyone who has information on this case to give them a call. Well, if you're planning to enjoy some libations this holiday weekend, officials remind you to plan your ride home. Katara Jones is in Glen Burnie with more.
The Maryland Department of Transportation and Maryland State Police held a joint press conference today, and the message is very clear: drive sober. Officials are warning drivers to not get on the road this holiday weekend if you've been drinking, using cannabis, or medication.
Our big message is we want you to arrive home safely, and to do that you need to have a sober ride home. So that's whether you're consuming alcohol, any kind of substance, make sure that you have a sober ride home. There are many good options out there, from taxis and ride shares and public public transportation or a designated driver who has not consumed anything.
No one needs to lose their life because of an impaired driver. Whether it's jail time, suspended sentences, injuries, or loss of life, driving under influence of alcohol or drugs can have a lasting impact on the community. We remain steadfast in our commitment to removing these potentially deadly drivers from our roadways.
Officials also want to remind drivers that everyone in a car needs to be wearing a seatbelt and also to watch out for workers on the side of the road. Katara Jones, CTV News.
And police will be out in force this weekend looking for impaired drivers. Well, the air quality in our region continues to worsen due to those wildfires in Canada. Yesterday we were in code orange. Today we are under code red conditions. This is how it looked over Kettering this afternoon. According to the Air Now rating system, code red means the air is unhealthy for everyone, including those with serious health conditions. People are urged to exercise indoors and limit outdoor activities. And if you must be outdoors, do something strenuous, consider wearing a mask. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. Coming up, the county's fire department warns us about the dangers of fireworks. We'll have more details after the break.
I thought it was a rash, but my doctor said it was a tick bite.
Ticks can spread Lyme disease and other illnesses, leading to chronic health issues.
My brother was always having asthma flare-ups. Turns out a roach problem at home was causing it.
Allergens left behind by roaches and rodents are a major driver of asthma attacks.
When I had a fever and body aches, I never thought it was West Nile virus.
Mosquitoes breed in standing water and can spread serious diseases. Get the facts at pestworld.org.
Welcome back. Police have released the identity of the man who was killed in Accokeek yesterday. He is 35-year-old Reginald Harris of Clinton. Police found Harris's body on the 500 block of Harmington Road. Investigators say there was trauma to the body, but would not elaborate. An autopsy is being conducted to determine the cause and manner of death. Anyone who may have information about the incident is asked to contact police. And businesses across the state will have 6 months to get ready for an impending increase in the state's minimum wage. The Fair Wage Act of 2023 passed earlier this year. It accelerates the wage increase, which is being phased in under a 2019 law. Under the new legislation, all employers in Maryland must pay at least $15 an hour starting in January. And Governor Wes Moore calls on lawmakers to address the state's automatic gas tax. Moore says the increases are harmful to working-class families. The request comes ahead of the state's 5-cent tax hike that goes into effect this Saturday, when it increases from 42 cents to 47 cents per gallon. A 2014 law indexed Maryland's tax on gas and diesel fuel to the Consumer Price Index. Moore wants the General Assembly to consider taking action whenever it convenes in January. And the 4th of July is coming up, which means fireworks celebrations. However, the county's fire department is warning residents that fireworks are illegal in Prince George's County. Fire officials say they are hazardous. Even sparklers can pose a threat to children.
I think parents and folks don't understand this. We see stuff like sparklers. We like, oh, that looks like a friendly firework that we can go out with, that we can display. Fireworks, sparklers burn between 1,200 and 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot enough to melt some metals. So when you put that in a 5-year-old or 6-year-old hand and they run around, they play, if they fall on it or if they stumble, trip, or if they touch it to someone else, that can create a lot of damage and a lot of injury.
And to have the fire department come and pick up any fireworks, call the number on your screen. Well, Prince George's is showing out for local businesses and putting an emphasis on tourism. Experience Prince George's held its Marketing Outlook meeting this morning at FedEx Field. Participants networked and learned ways to grow their businesses. County Executive Angela Alsabrook spoke about plans for the Blue Line.
Our investments in the Blue Line are strategic, and we expect private investment, which already exceeds $1 billion, to only grow as we move forward with our plan to transform this corridor into a destination.
We feel something. There's something that's driving us to say the future is bright. I'm telling you, the same is true in travel and tourism here in Prince George's County.
I do appreciate that they are taking time and putting a lot of effort and energy into small businesses, because we are the engine that fuels the economy. I'm excited that they are doing meetings like this, networking opportunities, because collaboration is key, and it just gives us a sense that the county does care about small business and are investing in them in the county and want to do business with small business.
Maryland artist Winston Harris is showcasing a personal exhibition, Key to Success, at the Montpelier Arts Center in Laurel. The exhibition shows a restructuring of many of his works since 1996.
I love to show the variety of my style and my techniques and my processes, and I try to educate, allow the public to understand that my work may start a certain way, but it ends up something different, and it might be a whole different process in the future. But I want the residents of Prince George's County to realize that they have those facilities within their community to produce the work of this caliber.
And the exhibit is open every day from 10 to 5 p.m. through August 6th. He'll also have works featured at BWI Marshall Airport this fall. And coming up, Simon Buggs with your Thursday Sports page. Stay tuned.
Hey sports fans, and coming up soon, the Capitals add some talent to their roster in the NHL draft, and a local baseball prospect gets recognized for his good play this season. Don't move.
We are for pets. We do anything for them because they do everything for us. We are for people, for those who love pets unconditionally. We are for good, from adoptions and veterinary care to disaster relief and fighting pet hunger. We stand together to create a better world for pets and families in need. We are PetSmart Charities, for pets, for people, for good.
All right, everyone, it's time for your Thursday Sports page. We'll start with some hockey news. The NHL draft was held yesterday, and the Washington Capitals had the number 8 pick. And with that pick, they selected right wing Ryan Leonard. Leonard was recently a part of the USA Hockey's national development team. And this past season, Leonard compiled 51 goals and 43 assists. Leonard spoke on what it was like hearing his name get called and the type of player Caps fans are getting.
It was awesome. Heart, again, really beating really fast. But yeah, it's a sign of relief and really excited to join Washington. Competitive player who loves to win, and will do whatever it takes to win.
And picking at number 8 was the highest draft selection Washington had in over a decade. Switching to some baseball news, Orioles prospect Jackson Holliday has been chosen to play in the All-Star Futures Game. The All-Star Futures Game is an annual baseball competition where American League prospects face off against National League prospects. In 63 games played for Baltimore Orioles affiliates, Delmarva Shorebirds and Aberdeen Ironbirds, Holliday has recorded 14 doubles, 7 homers, 47 RBIs, and 20 stolen bases. The All-Star Futures Games take place on July 8th. Wrapping up sports, the Bowie Bay Sox fell to the Somerset Patriots 3-2. They'll try and avoid 3 straight losses as they go up against Somerset again tonight at 6:35. The Orioles and Nats were also in action yesterday. Baltimore fell to the Cincinnati Reds 11-7, while Washington came out on top against the Seattle Mariners 4-1. Both teams will play again tomorrow. And that is your Thursday Sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thank you, Simon. Let's now get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast tonight. Mostly clear skies with a low near 65. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Maybe thunderstorms, a high near 88. Saturday, more T-storms throughout the day with a high near 87. And Sunday, mostly cloudy and more thunderstorms with a high around 88. And that's our news for tonight. I'm Byron Scott. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Some say e-cigarettes aren't dangerous,
but science shows nicotine can harm teens' developing brains.
no matter how they're exposed.
Let's do an experiment to find out.
Here's a teen who won't be using e-cigarettes.
Now we need one willing to risk their brain development.
Anyone care to volunteer your kid?
Anyone?
Your kids are not an experiment. Protect them from e-cigarettes.